Alright, this is John Cola with okraw.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you. This episode is actually spurred on by a friend of mine who was previously raw vegan, and now she eats, I don't know, a small percentage of raw vegan foods. She just basically defaulted to like the vegan mode, eating kind of healthier and sometimes not vegan foods. And I know a lot of you guys are in that position. Maybe you were raw one time and you felt great, you felt amazing. And then you slipped a little bit, and then you started eating some more processed foods, and then you got more processed foods, and now you don't eat a lot of raw vegan foods anymore. Or maybe some of you guys out there just want to get into a raw vegan diet and have never really gotten into it or don't know anything about it. And this video is for you. This is going to be a shortened, condensed format compared to my normal videos because I just want to give you guys some straight up tips and get you guys started. So the first thing I want to say is on my journey, I started back in 1995 eating a raw vegan diet for specifically my health and my immune system, and to build my immune system up. And since that time, I'll tell you guys what I learned is this. You want to focus on getting more raw fruits and vegetables, and especially leafy greens in you, and then also the other thing about raw foods is that while raw foods will, not heat their food, what I will tell you guys is that you want to minimally process your foods that you do consume. Raw in most cases is best. In a few instances, it's not the best. That's why you want to check out my link down below on why I started including more heat processed foods to be even healthier than 100% raw vegan alone, in my opinion, would give me. Now, the other thing I want to say is that raw vegan diets pretty much focus on maximizing the amount of fruits, vegetables, and hopefully leafy greens and sprouts and other plant foods, such as nuts and some seeds, to, much lesser extent, things like beans and grains that can be sprouted, but most raw food styles don't even consider those as foods. So I really want you guys to overall just eat a diversity of plant foods. Yes, my diet is still strong emphasis around fruits and vegetables, and I consume massive amounts of those with smaller amounts of other whole plant foods that can be quite healthy for you, in my opinion. As you guys can see, I'm sitting in my garden today, and gardening is one great way to get you out to exercise more, but more importantly, include more fresh fruits and vegetables in your diet, especially if you grew them yourself. Another point that I really want to mention you guys before I get into my 5 tips is I want you guys to think about, eating more whole plant foods, especially leafy greens, vegetables, and fruits, to crowd out the other foods, even if you're not going to be 100% raw foods. And in most cases, I don't necessarily recommend people be 100% raw. You don't get a gold star. Nothing magical happens to you. I've been like 99.9% raw for most of my raw food journey. And you don't get any specific magical things in my personal opinion, although some people may claim otherwise. That being said, what we do want to remember is that we want to eat as much fruits and vegetables and leafy greens as we can and crowd out the other foods, especially processed junk foods, vegan or not, animal foods in excess, processed animal foods. These are quite toxic. Ultra-processed foods made in a factory. These have been proven to be not healthy for us when overconsumed. All right, so down to my first way to include more raw vegan foods in your diet or restart and get them back into your diet is, number one, I'm going to start off with this. You got to have a reason to do it. If you don't have a reason, you're like a ship that sets sail from the port of Los Angeles without a rudder. You don't know where you're going to end up, where you're going to go, or you're just going to be traveled by the wind and where the engines take you and whatnot. So I want you guys to have a specific reason why you're doing this. Why is it important to you? Maybe it's because you have children. You want to see them graduate because you're not in the best of health. Maybe you have some health ailment, right? And you know that when you eat processed junk foods and go to eat at the fast food joint, right? You start aching. I don't know what's going on with you, but you have to have a reason. I want to eat more raw vegan or more whole food plant-based diet, minimally processed, because this, right? Write that down, write it on your mirror, write it on your bedstand before you go to bed at night. When you wake up, before you brush your teeth in the morning, if you do that, read it on your mirror to keep you motivated so that you have a reason to do it, and then it'll keep you on track. That's like the number one most important thing, because if you don't have a reason, you're not going to do it. Right? For example, my friend that's gone back to eating more cooked vegan foods, you know, she's now having like arthritis pains and all these other things going on in her body. But, you know, she's sucked into the taste sensations and how she likes to eat those foods. And because it's quote unquote vegan, doesn't contain sugar, she feels all right that, you know, she's going to have those pains and she's living with them so she can enjoy her food. And you know what? I respect that completely, because that is a choice she gets to make. That's a choice you get to make if you want to live with the health challenges and other things going on with you from not eating a healthy diet. You know, you could do that if you guys choose. But number one, I want to tell you guys, have a reason that'll help keep you motivated. Second way to restart or start eating more raw vegan foods is just simply have them available and put them front and center. When I walk into my backyard, what do I see, right? I instantly see all these vegetables that need to get eaten, you know, including my mustard greens that are purple over here. I got bok choy, got tatsoi over here. I got my nice deep red Lola Rosa lettuce. I got regular green lettuce, and I even got my escarole over here and endive. So yeah, that's really cool. But I want you guys to have it front and center, whether you're having a garden and growing lots of vegetables to eat, you know, or whether you don't have a garden and you could just go grocery shopping. Like I went grocery shopping this morning. I went and picked up organic Fuji apples, organic oranges, organic blueberries, and a few yellow dragon fruits, and I loaded up on them. So I have those front and center. I always have lots of different kinds of fruits and vegetables for me to eat. I have 3 fridges, which is probably a little bit too many. So you don't need 3 fridges. But basically, I want you guys to stock yourself full, your countertops, you know, your fridges or fridge with produce, fresh fruits and vegetables, because if you don't have it in your house when you're hungry, you're not going to eat it, because you're not going to surely go out to the grocery store to buy a banana to eat, right? If you don't have it in your house, you're not going to eat it. So buy these things in abundance, you know, put them in a big display bowl on your dining room table. If you hang out watching TV, put it on your, you know, coffee table. If you work in an office, you know, have a big bowl of fruit in the office. And when you're hungry, right, instead of even having to get up and go to the next room, you can just grab in that fruit bowl and chomp in to some fresh fruit. Bananas are convenient, oranges are convenient, apples are convenient, although there's so many other fruits that we should be enjoying besides just the standard common fruits. So aside from having fruits front and center, you know, on display outside of the fridge, you know, fruits can be stored outside the fridge depending on what they are. Many common fruits can. So for example, my friend has bagels on her countertop in her kitchen. So when she goes in there, she sees the bagels and then she wants to eat the bagels. And yes, they're vegan and sugar-free, but nonetheless, she should have a big pile of bananas or apples or oranges sitting right there, hopefully instead of the bagels or even with the bagels, so that when she sees it, you know, what I do, I could get out a bagel, have to cut it open, then I gotta like toast it if you do that, or put some nut butter or, you know, sugar-free grape jam on it. Or you could just grab a banana or apple and just instantly put it in your mouth and eat it and chew it up. Yes, you could eat banana peels. That being said, most people will peel them. Likewise, you know, if you guys have in your fridge, you wanna put your fruits and vegetables up to the front of the fridge and hide all the other stuff in the back of the fridge. So when you open up your fridge and you look in, you instantly see fruits and vegetables staring you in the eyes, waiting to be eaten. I mean, that's pretty much how it always looks in my fridge, because my fridges are always packed with a myriad of fruits and vegetables. So yeah, make them available so you'll eat them more often. Another comment I wanted to share regarding this point is that fruits and vegetables have a high water content, so you will need to eat more of them as compared to like a cookie or a candy bar or even a bagel. So that's why it's important to buy in bulk, buy in abundance, you know, especially if you haven't done this before. You're going to see, you know, to be full, I need, you know, a couple apples. I can't just eat one apple, you know, it's not going to do it for you. So that's why I like to buy an abundance of food. And of course, before the food's going to go bad, I could juice it or put it into a smoothie or even freeze it, you know, so I can use it for later. The third way to eat more raw vegan or restart eating raw vegan is just grab fruit first, right? Fruit is the easiest food on the planet to eat, right? If you're gonna eat a bagel, don't eat the bagel until you say, hey, I'm gonna eat 1 piece of fruit or 2 pieces of fruit, right? When you do that, now you've displaced room in your stomach for the bagel with the fruit, which in my opinion is significantly healthier than the bagel, right? So, and then you might just eat 2 apples and then like, oh, I'm not even hungry anymore. I don't even need the bagel. And then you don't even eat the bagel, right? So just by doing that little tip, right? Hey, if I'm gonna eat this, before that, I'm gonna have two cartons of blueberries or whatever, right? I do that myself a lot. I'll just like, oh, I want to have some, whatever dehydrated crackers. Ah, John, just go out to the garden and pick some greens or, eat some blueberries first. And I'll do that. And I'm like, oh, I'm not really hungry. I don't need the other stuff now, right? So you guys could do this too, no matter what else you're eating. Choose fruit first. It is so simple, easy, no preparation required in most instances. My fourth way to eat more raw vegan food or to restart is to eat 2 or 3 of these different options a day, right? As a meal. So this will displace, or, when you're eating these foods as a meal, you're not eating something else. That's very important. And these are not rocket science, guys. Number 1, have a salad. A salad should be a mainstay of a raw vegan diet. It makes me sad when I see people not eat salads on a raw vegan diet. People forget that, while fruits are amazing and I love them, we got to eat our vegetables, and my money is more on vegetables for long-term health benefits and long-term stability on a raw vegan diet. So I want you guys to have a nice large salad every single day. Some raw food camps don't promote this, and it makes me quite sad that they're not promoting eating high volumes of vegetables. Even furthermore, some raw food camps won't eat different kinds of brassica greens or all these things. So I want you guys to eat a salad. Now that's all right if you guys don't want to make a salad because it's too much work. I mean, you could buy a little 1-pound box of like greens that are already pre-washed and ready to eat. If you don't want to do that, then at least minimally make a fresh juice and drink a juice every day. My daily juice is a green juice. I'll have a green juice no matter what. In rare instances, if I'm not traveling, I don't, but I always have green juice that I always bulk make, which we'll talk about in a second. But have some kind of juice, hopefully a green juice or a vegetable-based juice. And then the third one is, if juice is too much work to do, right, just make a blended smoothie. I recommend only vacuum blending these days. Links down below on how you could turn your Vitamix or Blendtec into a vacuum blender so you can increase the nutrition, increase the flavor, and increase the storability, and also decrease bloating or gas you may get when you do make smoothies. So whether you're going to have a green smoothie, or what I like to do some nights is actually I'll just make a blended salad where I'll put in about a pound of tomatoes in there, a bunch of greens, a handful of nuts, some spices, some herbs, blend it all up into like a blended salad smoothie and drink it, right? In this way, you can up your greens game, because we talked about fruit by displacing other foods because the fruits are so easy to eat, but have 2 or 3 of these options, whether it's a salad, a juice, or a smoothie a day, right? And that's going to literally displace other foods you'd be eating. Making some of these are not really that difficult. You just have to learn the fine tips, to make it. I mean, the smoothies are the easiest thing. Just put some water or coconut water in the blender, put a bunch of greens in there, put a little frozen fruit, blend it up, and drink it. Boom! You're eating more raw foods, and you're making it simple for yourself. Now, my 5th and final tip is because my friend works every single day, 7 days a week, literally. She gets home from work and she's tired. She doesn't want to make any food. She's just out of juice, right? I know some of you guys that happens to too. You work all day, you're tired, and I mean honestly, some days I work from home, and I'm just tired. I'm like, man, I don't feel like making anything today. So honestly, I'll tell you guys what I do is I do batch food preparation. I will do batch juicing. Link down below to my video where I show how I batch juice in the Nama J2, my green juice that I make. Every day is a bit different variation. I also make batch vegetables, raw salads and raw soups. Link down below to one of my videos on my raw soup creations where I make a big batch. I'll store it in vacuum sealed mason jars and I'll just eat one a day. And of course, especially this time of year, I have so many greens that I need to harvest, like all these red lettuces are starting to bolt, so I gotta cut them all down, and I'll basically cut all the red lettuces, maybe a few green ones too. I'll make a big salad bowl that you may see on my Instagram, @GrowingYourGreens, so follow me on Instagram if you're not already. And then I'll make a big salad bowl, make a dressing, stir it all up. I'll have like 1 quart of the salad that day, and then I'll pack the rest up into mason jars that are vacuum sealed that I'll easily store for the next 5 days. So literally, if you just took 1 weekend day to batch prep a juice or a salad, you could have these to eat during the week. I don't necessarily recommend pre-preparing smoothies because they kind of go bad even if you are vacuum blending and vacuum sealing them. It's not my favorite because smoothies are so easy and the blender is so easy to clean. I would just make those on demand as needed. But nonetheless, having these items on hand so when you come home from work that one day and you just like, man, I'm not making a salad, I'm too tired. You can just open your fridge, grab whatever you made, the juice, the salad, and just start eating it or start drinking it. And boom, you're eating more raw foods. And once again, the whole goal for me and what I want to share with you guys is you want to displace the foods you would otherwise eat with more fruits and vegetables. And I mean, another thing I do these days, which is not raw food, but I basically will cook up different vegetables in the Instant Pot and then batch make that. So I'll make like 3 quarts of steamed greens with other cut up vegetables, beans and rice sometimes, and mushrooms in there, and then I'll store them under vacuum. Link down below to a video that I made years ago on my Growing Your Greens YouTube channel where I showed how I did this for my parents, and now I'm just doing it for myself. This is another way I could get more greens in me and other vegetables, and one of the healthiest ways to do it at that. So, in the end of this video, I don't want you guys to restrict yourself too much and make it too hard for yourself. I want you to set easy and obtainable goals, like just to include X percentage more raw foods in your diet, to be X percent raw instead of 100% raw. I'm going to just be like 50% raw. All you guys should be able to do 50% raw as it is, man. Eat some extra fruits and have a salad, have a green smoothie, vacuum blended hopefully, or have a juice, and you could really up your raw percentage game. And here's the thing, guys, the more fruits and vegetables to eat, minimally processed, the healthier you're gonna be, and that's one of the big secrets of the raw vegan diet, right? It's about what you're leaving out, so get rid of all those processed vegan junk foods, the stupid bagels, the stupid vegan pre-made pizzas that don't have any cheese on it, that are still, processed grain products and all these things. We want to get back to eating whole, real foods, guys, so hopefully my friend will watch this video and hopefully be motivated a little bit. And hopefully some of you guys out there that are in the same predicament that she's in, she was on track, got off track. Hopefully some of these tips that I've shared with you guys today will get you back on track to eating more fruits and vegetables. And actually, with that, I got to start harvesting some of my greens, or actually purples, to make my evening salad. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did and want more simple, short videos like this, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Also, please be sure to share this video with other people you feel get help. And be sure to click that subscribe button right down below so you don't miss my new upcoming episodes that are coming out every 5 to 7 days. You never know where I show up or what you'll be learning on my YouTube channel. Make sure you click the little bell so you get notified as my new videos come out. And finally, be sure to check my past episodes. Past episodes are a wealth of knowledge. Over 800 episodes at this time on the channel dedicated to teach you guys all about eating more fruits and vegetables in the best ways possible. So with that, my name is John Kohler with okraw.com. We'll see you next time, and until then, remember, keep eating your fresh fruits and vegetables. They're always the best.